We the best, we the best, we the best. Still is room for improvement and movement. We the best, we the best, we the best. Still is room for improvement and we the best, we the best, we the best. Our presence is we the best, we the best, we the best. Our presence is felt like a Black Panther movement.
Man, this hip-hop game, yo, I bleed, never mislead. Me a carbon copy, unlikely. Man, I ain't faking with it. Man, you catch me in the lab like a baker with it. Trying to get my cake up. You rap bastards need to get your weight up and take off the makeup. Man, I'm on my PE. I can't forget about the blessings from the essence. Come on, dude, gotta teach a lesson. Not everybody Smith & Wesson. Little this, little that. Maybe cause they just a little young. Come on, scrap. My feces connected to my telekinesis to reach your nephews and nieces in this crisis. We need it. The youth is misleaded. The gang's bleeding. Who gives a fuck? Ruck. Everybody duck. I blow about the bus. I know y'all fed up. That's why I'm in the lab whipping it up.
It's the remedy, the plan, the answer, the solution. Sitting in my studio, plot the revolution. Rewrite the Constitution, nah, burn that motherfucker. Cause I'm not the one that's gonna get beat like Tanya Tucker. Cause I'm here for the general population criminal. We killing all the information, getting a subliminal. We're giving all the tools to the children. Cause you need fresh water and soil if you attempt to plant a seed. And I don't wanna bleed less I'm bleeding life lessons to the rhythm of a song that can serve as confession with compression of my vocals. Squeeze it like a chokehold. If you wanna make change, you gotta start local. And if you wanna make change, you gotta stand tall. Teach them all that you gotta get up after you fall. A final call to my people, get it down to the letter. Yeah, we got a little something that'll make you feel better.
And you best believe I'ma put in work. Cause if worse come to worse, my peoples come first now. Let your mind rest on that. It's a proven fact that I'ma hit them with the artifacts. Flamboyant pro brother from the 412. Check my resume, this is what your bruh do. Stay sucker free, never let a hater get close to me. The Reaganomic effect got the whole room vexed. Check the way I put it down with the compounds and minerals to be my own general, the illmatic one. My mind illuminates like the sun. Knowledge is for self, but you gotta teach one. And I don't know if you didn't heard, but it's up to me to spread the word. Cause the game is so contagious, so aggravated when you spit black power. Radio won't play it.
Medication these MDs can't provide. Dedication these MCs can't supply. Remedies for all these maladies. Inside I'm the illest like jellyfish at low tide. You're hanging off the side of the SS Mechanic, spewing whack rhymes, polluting the Atlantic. Microphone queasy, lyrically seasick. Ain't coming Dramamine, stop sucking my MC dick. For real, spirit empty, lack of soul you illin'. My cup runneth over, catch the knowledge I'm spilling. Hell yeah, I'm old school, I rep it till I die. Class of 89 when hip-hop was alive. Somewhere down the line, rap music got dyspeptic. I'm here to clear ears, Marcus J. Antiseptic. Bite two rhymes, never call, let a leader lead. What I got is what you want and what you need.
Man, this game got me feeling like a Malcolm. They tryna X me out, but I'ma take a different route. Air the game out. I'm the one that the haters all talk about. Hypnotic picture scripture giver, so you can be ignited to my soul food cipher. Movement, Chuck said hit him in the head with the blueprint. You know the recipe. Never let the system get the best of me. And if it get the best of me, the seeds won't get the recipe. Hip hop with no anatomy, yo, that's tragedy. Tragedy.
We the best,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Session 3 of the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. My name is Randy Henderson, and I am one of the Black Feminist Reading Circle members of this online group. This session runs from January 20th until June 2nd and includes 2 week-long breaks. Our democratically selected reading material is Harriet A. Washington's book, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present. Our book group meets each Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 8 on the Google Plus Hangouts on Air platform. You may find the Global Black Feminist Reader Circle on Google Plus, YouTube, and Facebook, and always feel free to join us in reading our story together.
Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to the Global Black Feminist Reading Circle. This is the third book we're reading, Session 3, which now runs through June 16th. So we are coming on down the road. We have closed the Hangout to the existing members, but you are still welcome to watch us live on YouTube or to visit our archives at YouTube. I should say my name's Michelle Odom. I am the moderator for tonight and one of the co-hosts of the Reading Circle along with Randy Danielle Henderson, and I'm located in Brooklyn, New York. And let's introduce the other conversationalists for tonight. Venita?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Venita Walker, and I am joining you all from Cromwell, Connecticut. Welcome.
And Georgette?
My name is Georgette Moses. I'm participating from Columbia, South Carolina, and I am happy we are moving along in this book. Yes.
Yes. And our newest member, Edwina?
Hi, my name is Edwina Marchenko. Glad to be here. I'm participating from Utah. I'm here with my son who's in the National Guard for Utah.
Okay. Kim B has joined the Hangout.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. I'm in New York.
Chapter 11, The Childrens Crusade, Research Targets Young African Americans, tells the story of the dangers Black children, especially boys, have faced at the hands of American medical researchers on a never-ending quest to medicalize the problem of violence. Washington highlights a few of the most harmful experiments and medical procedures to which our children have been subjected, including the lobotomy, exemplified by the work of Orlando J. Andy, MD, and the University of Mississippi between the 1930s and 1970s, where psychiatrists and neurosurgeons who practiced these blind cut lobotomies simply inserted crude tools such as the ice pickalon and blindly swept them back and forth within the brain, cutting all the connecting nerves, sight unseen, at one fell swoop. Another example is Maryland's XYY study, or Search for the Mean Gene, carried out by DeGamber, Borgonker, PhD, and Johns Hopkins University during the 1970s, where parents were lied to, and these boys were subjected to stigmatizing testing, psychological assessments, and blood draws in a 3-year experiment that could have branded them as latent criminals for life. Another example is the fenfluramine study undertaken by Professor Gail Wasserman and New York City's New York State Psychiatric Institute and Columbia University's Lowenstein Center during the 1990s. Here they performed experiments upon at least 126 boys, most of whom were between the ages of 6 and 10, utilizing the drug fenfluramine. Fenfluramine is a cardiotoxic and brain-damaging substance, which at the same time had never been used on children under the age of 12. Another example is the repair and maintenance study conducted by Kennedy Krieger Institute and Johns Hopkins University during the 1990s, where scientists intentionally exposed children to lead in dilapidated housing to evaluate new, cheaper lead abatement techniques. And finally, the Violence Initiative, championed by Frederick Goodwin in the National Institute of Mental Health in the 90s, where inner city boys were compared to rhesus monkeys in the jungle. Her presentation also highlights the ways in which parental consent is disregarded and undermined as researchers doggedly pursue a single-minded agenda of proving Black boys are born criminals, more likely than others to be violent. She reviews ethical failures of the doctors and scientists in the cases cited, and she considers the social effects of racist research and raises concerns about current and future research agenda and practices.
Washington highlighted the work of University of Mississippi neurosurgeon Orlando J. Andy, MD, who performed lobotomies on African American children as young as 6, who he decided were aggressive and hyperactive. In one case, Andy removed 6 areas of the boy's brain in 5 surgeries over 3 years, areas that were then known to be important to emotions, expression, and cognitive function. She notes, Andy is not a psychiatrist, and this patient received no bona fide psychiatric diagnosis. Nevertheless, today, Andy is revered as a neurosurgical pioneer, one whose work was never challenged in his lifetime and who never suffered any disciplinary action. And question number 5, did you know children as young as 5 years old received lobotomies? If not, how did you feel about learning this information? Number 6, do you think Andy deserves to be revered as a pioneer, or is there some other way he should be regarded? Number 7, do you know anyone who received a lobotomy, and if so, how did it affect their ability to function in the world? Well, I don't know anyone who received a lobotomy, but I did watch a PBS documentary last night because just to see the description of lobotomies, and they concentrated on some other doctor named Freeman Oh, who performed an ungodly number of lobotomies, and I learned that um, Rosalind Kennedy, the sister of Robert and
Yes.
John, received a lobotomy, and because she was, well, they used some kind of very innocuous terminology for it, but hey, maybe she had some little problem. But after the lobotomy, the woman could not take care of herself. She was incapacitated. And then Frances Farmer, Hollywood actress back in the, I want to say the 40s, she was a free-spirited white woman, okay, who got a little too free-spirited, so they gave her a lobotomy. So I'm like, okay, this is, and I watched the performance. They filmed this Freeman doctor doing the lobotomy, and he used a mallet and this big ice pick looking thing and peeled the person's eyelid back and hammered it in. And they had an interview with one of the doctors that were there during the time he was doing some of the surgeries, if you could call it that. And the guy said people were throwing up. These were doctors throwing up. One guy just left. He walked out of the room. And if these are other doctors who can't understand the novelty and, the scientific efficiency of this crazy new procedure that's going on, and it's turning their stomachs, why in God's name is he able to do so many? And then he becomes some kind of hero, just like Sims back there, who we read about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And this is quackery, okay? It's quackery. You're sticking a piece of
Ice pick.
Right, an ice pick in someone's brain, scrambling their brains, okay, and saying, oh, this is going to make them better because now they're drooling on themselves and they're quiet. And that's the goal, to make them docile and controllable.
Yeah.
And that's mental illness at its best. Now that is mental illness.
Yeah.
Okay. Mentally ill doctors, so-called doctors, which are like Frankenstein's, and talking about mental, I can't even go there. That made me feel sick. That's crazy.
Yes.
There must have been some kind of sadistic charge that they got out of that, because nothing else was achieved other than destroying people's lives.
Absolutely.
It's hard to understand. Did you get the notes, Kim?
Yes, I did. I sent you a thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to understand. I don't know anyone that's had a lobotomy that I know of, Georgette. So thank you for that research that you did and sharing those stories. But you can just imagine from the little bit of description that we read about. And I mean, I've always heard about them, but I don't think I realized, how barbaric a procedure is. Yeah. And to imagine that you would just do this to people for social control. I mean, when I read that they had used it as a cure for rioters during the 60s, I had never heard that. I was stunned by that.
I feel bad again, Georgette, because I'm sitting here reading this book, and some of it is just so outlandish. It's very, very sad. But when they said that they used it as a cure for rioters, I almost fell off my chair. I mean, and I had to ask God to forgive me again. Oh, Venita, that was the crazy.
Yes.
I just didn't believe it. What I don't understand is, why aren't they prosecuted after all these years as criminals?
Well, well, yeah. I
would have been hunted down.
I posted a story a few days ago about a 93-year-old man.
Yes.
On trial right now.
Yes.
In Germany.
Yes.
For his war crimes in the 1940s. Because the Jews don't play like that.
That's right. I admire them.
If they have to snatch you out of that wheelchair.
You work there, people. You sound like the dog that you are until you're 93, and they're going to kill you when you're almost dead.
Yeah.
Those crimes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you better go underground and never be found, never come up again, because when you come up, they are waiting for you.
Waiting right there for you. They don't play. And it's not the first time I've heard that. You know, the prosecuting of very old men from the Nazi crimes. And this right here, I don't know why. Even after knowing these things, well, I know why our country didn't do anything about it. We know why, because you know.
Well, he's honored. He is honored. He is revered as a pioneering neurosurgeon.
Yes.
So he actually did the work that people wanted him to do. And that's why I say what we believe matters.
Yes.
If you really believe these are born criminals, then, you know, I guess it's not too much of a leap to be grateful to the person who put those born criminals out of commission. You know, so it would be like, you know, if we were living in Germany and there was some Nazi doctor that was being revered, well, you know, there were some people in Germany that were happy to see the Jews gassed to death. You know, and so when we wrap our heads around America as the big brother mentor, you know, to the Nazis, then it fits that a guy like Orlando J. Andy was a hero.
But on the other hand, he was the sinister monster
from our perspective.
That
thought he was great, Edwina. They were loving him. They said, "Go, Andy."
Yes.
Okay. Get that out of here. You know, start creating some more. We control people. We can control that behavior. Stopping the riot. Don't. They may be showing up in Baltimore in a minute, Kim.
Because it blows me away that then our government gave our tax dollars to these doctor researchers to work on the urban rioters.
Go doctors. Go government.
So it's not like, you know, when you know, I think sometimes when we hear the madness, when we hear, you know, white people say things or do things that indicate that they don't really think we're human, I think we don't believe them because we know we're human. And we're like, you know, they gotta be kidding. You know, they gotta be, you know, this has gotta be some kind of head game. They're not really serious. They're serious.
What did Maya Angelou say? When a person shows you their face, believe it.
Yes.
Believe it. And black folks in denial too, because sometimes the stuff is so horrifying, but we gotta kind of, you know, it just overtakes us. And I know because sometimes some of this stuff. And we're like, oh, let us go pray and do something, because this cannot be happening. No.
Yes.
They honestly don't, you know, some of them don't care because this is what they believe. It's real.